luscious locks of Sangundor. That's. Imagine if we treated women's hair salons like we do weapons from medieval time.
What? Why those two things do not correlate?
That's why it's funny. That's why it's weird because it's, you know what I mean? Like it's.
I don't know what you mean.
The majesty of like
Majesty.
the iron bow from Trigonus or something. You know what I mean? Like we give like these really big names, but imagine if that's how women also introduce hairstyles. I don't know. I was
okay. Maybe.
Nope.
Maybe.
Nope.
I don't know.
No, it's okay.
You
can say it's bad.
It doesn't work for me.
That's fine. I figured.
But.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Welcome to another episode of
we're recording? I thought we were okay.
Hey everybody.
What's
Welcome
up?
to the latest episode.
Yeah, just pitching bad ideas left and right. Anyways. Yeah. Once again, you have found us. Frank Martinez, Jazzy Taylor. We're hanging out.
Having a couple drinks.
Yeah. What are we drinking here, Jazzy?
I don't know. Something.
We never named it.
We didn't.
We should.
It's I don't know. The She-Hulk. I don't know.
The
I don't know
She-Hulk.
what this is. But it's yummy. It's tasty.
Breaking the fourth wall. That's what I like. Let's call it that.
Okay.
Yeah, She-Hulk is clearly the theme of this week's episode. If you have not watched it, spoilers ahead, guys.
Yeah, because
And
we watched it.
We watched it, all 3 episodes.
And now we're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. Before we go into the details of the actual show, though, I just want to ask you.
Oh, you want to ask me something?
No, I want to ask you something. What is something that happened to you, like, that's in the nerdy world that just blew your mind this week? Anything special? Any the game? Any announcement of something? What was your nerdy thing of the week?
I don't know.
Nothing.
That is a hard question that I was not prepared for. Scared.
Stuff and things.
Yeah. Words are hard and stuff. I don't know, man.
No, nothing.
I don't know.
Nothing special.
Nothing comes to mind. How about you say what you want to say?
Yeah.
Because I feel like this question was leading up to you.
No. I literally
something
just wanted to know if there's anything in the nerd world that like maybe got announced or something that you were like, oh, that could be kind of cool, you know?
No.
Nothing?
No.
All right.
Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's fine.
So you put me on the spot, man. Now I'm
that's
panicking.
fair. Yeah, no, I just wanted to know. For me, it was actually I sent you the clip of this video game. I don't even remember the name of it, but it was
Did it even have a name?
I think it did.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'd call it Vampirus Hotel or something.
Okay.
Basically,
I'll
the
try
plot.
to find it while you talk about it.
Yeah, the plot of the game is that you're a vampire who's running an old rickety hotel. Like, I don't know, I can only assume it's in Transylvania, or you know what I mean? Like, where else would it be? It'd be funny if it's like Miami. But it's
called Bloody Hell Hotel.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But basically, you're a vampire who's running this hotel, and you get to eat as many guests as you want. But you're also a business vampire, and you have to make rent. You got to make sure overhead is paid for. Your staff, your toilet paper is in the books. You want good Yelp reviews. Is what you want.
I just love that you're a vampire businessman.
Yeah.
Like you're.
Yeah, Vladimir. What are these business reports?
You're a business vampire, okay?
Why are these apples $3? You know what I mean? Like what? I just love the idea of the vampires having this meeting.
I love that accent.
Yes,
too.
blah blah blah.
I do not say blah blah blah.
That's my entire vampire reference is just
Hotel Transylvania.
Just Adam Sandler's take on Hotel Transylvania. Yeah. But I love that to me, because I guess like I've been playing video games my whole life, so there's so many video games that are just the same thing. And I do it wrong. I buy Call of Duty every year. I'm that dumbass that's buying the same game.
But
Different
how many
guns.
times have you bought GTA 5? That's what I
Leave
want
me
to
alone.
know.
Okay, you know what? More. I bought Skyrim like 6 times. Okay, so I have it for every console. I have it for consoles that don't even exist.
Gosh.
But yeah, I swear every remastered they get me, because I'm just like, oh, that was a good game that I've never played all the way through. I'm gonna do it again. But no, I just love the idea of a vampire, and he also has to run a hotel. That's so interesting to me as far as like trying to. I love playing like SimCity, but I don't love only playing SimCity. Which is why I think like I love GTA 5. It's like so many games kind of built into one. So I think the idea of running a hotel while also being a vampire is very appealing to me for that reason.
Yeah, I kind of dig it too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of like, because like you said, it's kind of like almost like a sim kind of game where
Yeah.
it's like you're trying to build something and it's like you want it to be good, but then at the same time you're like, I gotta eat that guy though,
Yeah.
because I need sustenance,
Right?
Like,
Yeah, it's
so
like
I'm gonna eat this guy.
the
Like,
duality, man. It's like I'm hungry, and also that guy didn't tip very well.
yeah, you
like,
just walk up, you're like housekeeping, but not
really housekeeping. And I saw a little bit of gameplay. You can turn into a bat at like instantly. Like it's very old school Dracula. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. So that's my nerdy thing of the week.
I dig that. Because I will definitely probably play that game.
Yeah, right?
So, I have a feeling I would probably end up liking it in the way that I really like The Sims. Where, do you ever do this? Like, you start playing The Sims all of a sudden out of nowhere, and then you're addicted to playing The Sims. And you play for hours, like, every single day. And then all of a sudden, there's just one day where you just forget to log on, and then you forget about the game for, like, 6 months.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, you're like, oh, hey, remember The Sims? And then you just
into it
again.
They actually almost got me because they had Sims 4 on sale for like $3, and I was like, oh, should I get it? And then I was like, that's so much time to make another family and to like have a whole other life, because it's like you stop doing it, then they're gonna not pay their bills, and then there's poop all over the house, and then
it's really funny. Speaking of The Sims, I did see somebody on TikTok recently who talked about playing The Sims and how like I feel like almost everybody does this. Everyone has a little bit of a psychopath in them, and I feel like The Sims allows you to get a little bit of that out.
Oh, 100%.
Because, like,
100%.
Eventually, I swear, there's always one person who just does not listen to you and what you're like trying to tell them to do, and then you finally end up getting so frustrated. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna torture you in some weird way, and then like you won't let them do a certain thing, or like you trap them in a room.
Yeah,
and
I was just gonna say
you make them go swimming, and then you take the ladder out of the pool, and you're like, what now, bitch?
Exactly. No, yeah, I'll because you know how you can make them feel certain things or do certain things. I'll make the one that make me mad. I'll make them eat a lot, so they have to poop all the time. It's such a shitty thing to do, ha ha ha. But you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those. It's so inconvenient. I don't want the torture to like not make sense. I want it to like they're just like they have problems and I created them. So hence why I probably shouldn't be in charge of anything, because I'll make your life hell if you bother me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I know, right? Yeah. Either way, we'll get to the main arc of this though. She-Hulk was released. This is week 3 of She-Hulk. Before we get super into it, first thoughts. How do you feel about the show?
Meh.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Like.
Meh.
Like just
meh.
Everything.
Yeah, just meh.
Okay. So very mid tier.
Yeah, just meh.
Yeah. I will say this, like it. I don't want to say meh because I feel like that also adds like a negative connotation to it, which is totally fine. I enjoy it for what it is. I didn't expect it to be like Hawkeye show. Loved it. What was the other one that they Loki show? Loved it. Are those the only two that I like loved? I'm trying to remember.
Captain America and what was the other show, Marvel show?
There was
the Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Oh, Falcon and Winter Soldier
Yeah.
was very okay. I feel like I wanted it to be more. It got a little political in a very weird way for me that I didn't really feel like needed to go there. Like, I don't want to dismiss the racial issues that they brought up, but also like, I don't think anybody saw, and I could be totally wrong. Maybe it's just because I'm so used to a very diverse world and I don't get to see the other side of things, but I don't know. I never thought at one point when Sam picked up the shield was, boy, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like I never questioned it never brought a racial issue to my mind. And so that, I don't know. I felt this show could have been a lot more and it just wasn't. It was a little bit of a letdown for me. But yeah, I will say it's She-Hulk isn't necessarily like a top tier show. It's not like I have to watch this, but I do enjoy it for what it's funny. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm indifferent is what I would give the best description that I can is I'm just indifferent about it. Like, I watched it. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
But I didn't love it. It was just, it was entertaining.
Yes.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not over here being like, oh my god, have you watched She-Hulk?
Yeah.
Oh my god, like no, I'm just kind of like
it's not like for me the Obi-Wan show every week I'm like I gotta watch this shit. So much is happening.
Like no, like it's not like that. It's not like how I felt when House of the Dragon came back on and then they used the exact same theme song from Game of Thrones and then I can't breathe. Like it's not like that. It doesn't give me that. It's just kind of like entertainment.
Yeah,
okay.
No, I agree. It's definitely like I'm waiting for the next show to come out, but this is nice to have.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I really like Hulk. I like that they are bringing everyone into the show, and I love that they kind of are keeping true to the character. I know you're not too familiar with her from the comics.
Yeah.
But so far, it's pretty spot on. Except I do feel like in the comics, and we kind of showed you a clip of some of the cartoons that kind of came before.
Yeah.
They always kind of focus on her sexuality, and this might not be the forefront, which is totally cool. Like whatever, I don't need She-Hulk to be super sexy. In the same way we didn't need the green M&M to be sexy. Like, you know what I mean? Very strange things.
Why is green sexy?
I don't know. It was
now that I think about
right?
it, just green.
They took away her being sexy, right?
What do you mean?
In the commercials, the green M&M is no longer like.
Green M&M. I thought we were talking about She-Hulk. I'm like, she's not sexy.
No. She's alright, but I think in the same way they kind of don't focus on it too much. Though we do get a fun twerking scene at the end of this last episode, which is pretty cool. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of people have real weird opinions about it, though.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird opinions about, I feel like, just the show overall in general. I don't feel like anybody really looks at it like the way that I'm looking at it, where it's like, it's entertaining and it's, it's TV.
Yeah.
I don't feel like anybody else is really looking at that. It's like every opinion that I've seen has either been way right or way left, and I know that I did those backwards for me because this is my right and this is my left, but whatever. It's just one side or the other. Like people either are super supportive of it or people absolutely hate it. Nobody's just taking it for what it is and
it's entertainment. Exactly.
And it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it is weird because I think the show's just about having fun. I don't think it has an agenda. I don't think it has a message where other shows do. And that's totally fine if you do or you don't. But I think you're right. This is pure entertainment. It's seeing somebody who's in a weird situation themselves and just dealing with it. I did like that in the beginning. So her origin story in the comic was a little different. She was still a lawyer, but she had she was helping protect one of her what's the word for client? Protect one of her clients.
Yeah. And
the client had a mafia hit out on her, and she ends up getting shot by a shooting that goes by to kill the client, but it actually ends up hitting her as well. And Bruce was the only one that could give her blood because they had the same blood type, and then she ended up becoming
so it was a blood
She-Hulk.
Okay.
That
That is, I feel like, a little bit better, and I almost wish that they would have done that in the show.
Yeah, the show was a little weird, right?
The show was weird because, the way that her origin story starts in the show is she's going on a road trip with her cousin Bruce, and they end up in a car accident, and then he's bleeding, and she tries to help him, but she's also, bleeding and, has a cut, and, his blood accidentally mixes with hers, and then she goes instant She-Hulk.
Well, I mean, isn't that, because I don't know, they always
it's
tell
the
you
same but different, but also I feel like the story you just told
is more believable.
More believable and almost a little bit better.
Yeah, no, I give you that because I think where they're trying to go off with that is we always hear if you have some kind of disease that's transferable through blood, don't ever be real careful because you could accidentally mush cuts and then you have it. And so I guess that's kind of maybe they were going with it.
Yeah.
But I do see what you're saying. I've been in pretty bad car accidents, and never once has we both been bleeding and said, "Oh my God, now we have to match scars. We have to match up blood samples." It just doesn't necessarily happen that way.
Because it's not even really the way it happened. It was she just kind of walked over to him
and grabbed his arm.
And then tried to grab his arm, and then his arm was over here, and then his arm was I guess gushing blood.
Yeah.
It just started coming out of his arm, and then went into her arm. It was a
weird,
they were this. And then it was just blood to blood.
Yeah, I agree. That was definitely when I first thought watching that was how I had to go back and rewind it because I didn't even understand how she got the blood in her.
Yeah.
And that's when I was they somehow she had a cut or something.
It was just a freak accident basically on how it happened.
So. It's a little unbelievable. Agreed. I do think it's interesting that she went Hulk, but okay, so she they get in an accident. She goes full Rage Hulk, like just no words, and she ends up. Where does she end up? Like in Argentina or something in the first one.
I don't even remember where she ends up.
Yeah, I forgot, but she ends up in another country, like just gone, and then something else happens, and she hulks out again, and then ends up. She wakes up under Bruce's care, who's now gone, which we should have mentioned, I guess. In the beginning, he was in human form, and then when she wakes up the second time, he's in Hulk.
He's Smart Hulk.
Smart Hulk, or Maestro form, as some people call it. But yeah, it did feel a little rushed in the beginning, and like again, she was mad, but we find out very quickly that she has full control of her Hulk self.
Yeah.
She's not like Bruce, where he has, he hulks out and he becomes another person.
Yeah.
Or at least
Hulk
until
smash.
he's in Smart Hulk mode. You know?
Yeah. Hulk smash.
Yeah.
Just Hulk this. I like that Hulk though. Not gonna lie. From Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Like the dumb Hulk.
It was
but
cool
like...
to see Hulk do his own thing. I feel like they kind of had to get to Smart Hulk fairly quickly just to kind of help the story progress.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of did.
But I do want to still see, and I think a lot of people do. Are you familiar with Planet Hulk? I know it's a little off subject, but it's fine. So Planet Hulk is a storyline where, and I'm gonna fudge up the details because it's hard to have all this information in your brain, but Hulk basically is still like, even though he's done a lot of good, he ends up, every once in a while he goes to Hulk and fucking fucks everything up. And so there's a group of Avengers that are called the Illuminati, which you kind of saw in Doctor Strange. They get together and basically realize, like, Hulk ultimately is a danger. He's never gonna truly be able to help the world in the way we need him to. So we're better off if we put him in a ship and just send him into the fucking space. And
so kind of the theme of Ragnarok.
So Ragnarok, they took a lot from that story.
Got it.
But the difference is that instead of him landing on a planet where like they thought they sent him to a planet where nothing was there and he was just gonna live his life.
Alone.
And I forget how exactly he ends up coming into like a gladiator situation, but he does and basically becomes the fucking champ like he did in Ragnarok. But there's no Thor to come back and save him. Instead, Hulk actually starts like a life on this new planet and becomes like their champion, and then finds a way back to Earth. And he's like, I'm gonna fuck these dudes up, and comes back to Earth and just starts fucking shit up, and shit gets crazy. If you get a chance, they did do a animated movie, which is fairly close to the comic, and it's really fucking cool. So I'd highly suggest watching that if you haven't, or reading the fucking series, because Hulk has a son, and shit gets crazy when he's there. So you guys check it out. It's a good story. But what was my point of this? I forgot the point of that.
I don't know. We talk a lot.
I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
We ADHD brain.
Yeah, right. So either way, I think, I don't know, whatever. But so we see Bruce Banner doing his thing, helping her out.
Yeah.
And
we were talking about Smart Hulk.
Yes. I was just
Dumb Hulk.
Yeah, and my point was like there's so many other sides of Hulk that we don't get to see, which includes like this Planet Hulk where he actually does a lot of cool shit, or Gray Hulk, there's Gray Hulk, which is I'm trying to remember this, but we have Gray Hulk, and then we have Red Hulk, which can be different people. Gray Hulk is the same as the Hulk that we have, but Red Hulk is actually the general that's hunting him, the Betty's dad. Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. So, but yeah, no.
Hulk's so complicated.
He is. He's a complicated man. I would love to see a series of just Hulk therapy sessions. Like
that like reminds me of like. Did you ever watch the show Lucifer?
A little bit, yeah. Actually, I've been on the set of Lucifer, and I did the Warner Brothers lot tour, and I got to walk into the police station where they do some of the filming.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But that just reminds me of that because like that's kind of like the whole premise of that Lucifer show is he's the devil. He's literally Lucifer, but he goes to therapy.
Yeah,
he's
with
trying.
the lady,
He's like trying to like fix himself or whatever, and like he wants to understand himself, so he goes to therapy.
Yeah.
And like he actually ends up in the long run learning like about himself and how to be better and all this stuff. Like he takes a lot of wrong turns, but at the same time, like that just reminded me of that, and like how that would actually be a funny concept to like see like Hulk go to therapy and see like if he can learn something, or if he takes a wrong turn and just takes the advice the wrong way, like the same way like Lucifer does sometimes. That would be funny. I would enjoy that.
Right? Cool little one-off show or whatever. Little shorts.
What's his name? Taika Waititi? Have him do it.
Taika Waititi?
Yeah. Taika, I will never get his name right. It's fine. Pronunciations are hard.
That they are. Either way, so we just to get back to the show. So we see them. He basically fills in. Why am I forgetting her name? She-Hulk. What's her name? Jennifer.
It's not Lawrence.
No.
That was the first thing that came to my mind. What is wrong with us today?
Every episode.
Too much. Well, yeah,
right.
A little bit too much of the juicy juice.
Yeah, but she basically is getting informed that she can't go back to her regular life, and she has to learn how to be
Jennifer Walters.
Jennifer has to be, basically learn how to be a Hulk, which was cool. I wasn't sure. I'm glad that we only saw her on the island for one episode, and it wasn't like multiple episodes.
Yeah, they didn't drag it out.
Yeah, right. So we get back to her life fairly often, but it is a cool first episode introduction to like how she's able to figure out her powers and do stuff.
Well, see, I like the explanation that she gives though with everything, because it does make sense from like a woman's point of view. We do have to end up biting our tongues a lot with certain things, especially like for her being in like such a high profile like job. She can't always just be opinionated about certain things.
Yeah.
She has to hold back her anger a lot. And so when she's explaining that to Bruce, it's like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, this is why I'm good at this, and this is why I know how to control my anger, because literally I'm always angry. Like, like he said in the very first Avengers. She's always angry, and she knows how to control it, so that's why she's a little bit better able to control She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And why she, like, almost instantaneously knows how to phase in and out of it. So, I thought that was pretty cool. So
Yeah, I think it was cool that she had a good handle and everything. You're right, the explanation was dope. She gets back to her job fairly quickly. And first day on the job, villain shows up, and she has to fucking Hulk out to save the day.
So convenient, though.
Right? Yeah,
Like, you all of a sudden just somehow become a superhero, and then all of a sudden just villain just shows up out of nowhere.
I think that's what a lot of this show is going to be, though, which is like a little, it's a little campy.
It is a little campy.
But I enjoy it. Like you're right. Like you were saying earlier, it's a lot of entertainment. It's a lot of like song and dance kind of stuff a little bit,
I will say the one thing that I don't really care for, though, because, and it has its place in certain TV shows, but it just feels slightly off in this one for me, is when she talks to us.
Yeah, the fourth wall breaking. So that is definitely a huge character. She-Hulk's been doing that since like first comic.
Really?
Yeah, that's her thing.
So see, that's it's new for me because obviously I don't read the comics.
Yeah.
So it just seems slightly off in a weird way.
I feel the way that they do it. You're right. I don't hate it, but I definitely and this is I hate making this like comparison because I feel like everyone's making it, and I do feel like it's not fair because technically this character did it much later than she did. She was already doing it in her own right. But Deadpool does it with such a nuance.
Yeah.
Versus hers seems like, you know how Saved by the Bell, Zach Morris used to do it all the time. But again, nuance, very much like taking the situation. Hers, it feels a little forced. It feels a little like
that's what I was gonna say. Like now that you're describing that, and I'm realizing, I'm like, yeah, Deadpool does do it, but he almost does it like he has like a suaveness about suaveness isn't the right word. That's not the right word. But it's just like it seems smooth, like it's like kind of effortless. Like it does. You don't really like notice it so much, I guess. But with hers, it's like I notice it the minute she does it. Yeah. Like I'm just kind of like, oh, that was a little weird. But okay, moving on. Like
no, I know, and again, like I feel like credits due where it starts, and that she definitely as a character was doing it before. But I don't know if it's the writing or if it's the way that the actors maybe being told how to do it, where it doesn't feel almost natural to the scene. Yeah. And I think that's my problem with it. Yeah. It's not that she's doing it, because I love fourth wall breaking when it's done correctly. I also feel like there's not enough sarcasm, and I feel like if you're gonna break the fourth wall, it has to be fairly over the top. I'm trying to think. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Mm-hmm. Everything with it is over the top explanation, or over there's a reason for it, and I guess hers is. I almost want to say hers is more used as a device to kind of speed up the show, so there's no like wasted time with action, because I feel like because she's She-Hulk, she has to have a lot of action in the show. it's like, how do you balance this lawyer also having action? You know what I mean? How many times is she gonna get into a fight?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It depends. Like, are you familiar with the show Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law?
No.
Oh, watch it. It is such a treasure of a show because it's the idea. Hanna-Barbera owned this cartoon called Birdman.
You just unlocked.
Yeah, like a whole memory. Yeah.
Yeah, a super core memory. Because now I can see the character that you're talking about. The minute you said Hanna-Barbera, it was just like, boom, there he is. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. So maybe I did watch it. I just, as a kid, don't really remember. But,
yeah.
Whoa.
But yeah, no, it's great. So they took this Birdman character who was a superhero, and it's such a product of like kids growing up with things, because those kids that grew up with those reruns grew up and like, let's make a satire of this and make him an attorney. And so he's now an attorney for any cartoon that has an issue. So like he one of his clients is like Fred Flintstone, or he had the Scooby-Doo gang, or he has to protect them because I think the Scooby-Doo gang, like, they got caught with like weed in their car or something, and he has to defend them against that. Right. So it's things like that.
We know who the culprit of that was.
And so I think
Mr. Shaggy.
I think that if they kind of did a little more of that in the show, where it's like, and like they kind of do, right? So like episode 1, we find out she loses her job because she hulks out in the middle of a case, or in the middle of the trial, but it's because a villain like showed up and was trying to fuck shit up. So she's like, well, I guess I got him now, and so she hulks out, and then her boss basically was like, yeah, we can't do that.
Because she saves the lives of the jury, they call it a mistrial, because technically they think that the jury could have been swayed to her side because she saved their lives. Mm-hmm. So they technically called it a mistrial, which her boss explains like, hey, I understand you did what you had to do. You saved lives. You did the right thing. But it looks bad on our firm. Yeah. So we have to let you go. Which sucked.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like she gets rehired by the people that she was going against.
Yes, yeah.
So they're the ones that want to hire her, but they don't want to hire her.
Yeah, they want to hire She-Hulk.
They want to hire She-Hulk, which is cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so offensive.
Yeah. Like, it's very what's the word I want to say? Like not like almost patronizing. Is that the right word? I don't know.
Kind of, because it's like they don't want her for her skills necessarily. Yeah. They just want her for her superhero ability.
Yeah. That's
the only reason that they're hiring her. It's like. It's almost like this is I don't even want to say it now. I don't want to get canceled. But it's like being the token black guy.
Yeah.
It's like this. That's why you got the role. Is because we needed the token person, and it's like that's pretty much what happened to her. It's like, hey, we're gonna open the superhero division of our thing, so you're gonna be our token superhero lawyer. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I would take it. I see what you're saying.
I would do the same thing. Are you kidding me?
You're kind of
how could you say no?
It's a win, but it's also like a hit to the ego.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you're getting offered an awesome job because of something you personally own. Like, come on, And
I mean, she kind of made it very adamant that she did not want to be a superhero.
Yeah.
But once you become a superhero, you can't.
There's no going back.
Yeah, you can't turn that off. So it's like you have to accept whatever is going to be coming now.
Yeah.
And I feel like her taking the job and like now she's basically going to be a superhero lawyer and help out all of the other superheroes with their legal issues.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool gig.
Right? And so that's kind of like with that point with the Harvey Birdman thing. We're starting to see some of that a little bit. With the third episode, we saw, or was it the third or the second?
I don't know. They're all blended together.
Yeah,
I binged them all together, so they all just kind of melt into one thing for me.
I want to say this was the third one, where one of her clients is a former associate of hers, and he basically was bamboozled into thinking he was dating Meg Thee Stallion.
Yes.
And he wasn't. He was in fact dating an Asgardian who has the power to shapeshift. Which was great. We got to see how the shapeshifty. Well, she wasn't against her. One of her coworkers was. Mm-hmm. But either way, we got to see how the shapeshifty was causing problems for everyone, and how.
Which was. Mm-hmm. She was. I did not like that character. Let's just be straight about that.
Okay, like what? Like I definitely. So she's definitely made out to be a villain in the show, right? Not like a villain that we think, like a super villain, like she's trying to take over the world. Just a nuisance.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. And
yeah.
that I think that's what bothered me. It was just like, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand the campiness and that it added to the storyline, but it's like, you're in court. Like, this is a serious legal matter, basically.
Yeah, she doesn't give a shit.
And she's just yeah, she's just not taking any of it seriously. Impersonates the judge.
Yeah.
Like, so many things, and you're just like,
But that's what I love about it, because it's they're playing on Earth still by their own rules. And the fact that she even got a lawyer makes me laugh. Because you would think that she would just do what she was doing anyways until she got her way. You know what I mean? The fact that she showed up to actual court, you know, the whole thing was really funny to me.
Yeah.
I
the whole situation was just kind of weird. I was like, an Asgardian shapeshifter?
Yeah.
Okay, random, weird.
What would be really fucking cool is if we saw her go up against Daredevil in court.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
So Matthew Murdock action. Imagine that. Like,
that would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. Especially because they announced that Homeboy from the Netflix series, Daredevil. Did you watch those?
No.
Oh, watch them. It's one of the few, like, I know Netflix was trying really hard with those shows. It's the only good one. Iron Fist sucked ass. Luke Cage was okay. The one about the girl, she just has sex with everybody. That's all the show is.
What about the girl?
The one, I forget her name. She's that's gonna piss me off. But she's basically like a detective, like a gumshoe, a private eye. Sorry.
Okay.
Gumshoe is like, it's an old 30s term. But she's like a private eye who's, you know, like those old like noir kind of things where they drink all the time. It's like that, but today. Like, she just goes around getting drunk all the time.
And it was a Marvel show?
It's a Marvel show. I forget what her name is, but she just goes around and she has like super strength, and she just goes around having sex with everyone.
Sounds like your D&D characters.
Yeah. Hey, you leave Bartholomew alone. Or Chad. What was his name? I think her name was Chad or something.
Chad sounds about right. That sounds like the name of someone who just tries to have sex with everyone.
It was Chad, the
Dragonborn.
The 600,000-year-old Dragonborn. Yeah.
Jesus.
And he just went around trying to have sex with everyone. It was great.
Oh my God, I just remember every single time we walked in anywhere, they were like, "Oh, you meet a barkeep," and you were like, "Can I have sex with it?" Like, "Oh, you meet this random person on the trail. Can I have sex with it?" Like, that was your question every single time we met a creature or a person anywhere in the in our campaign. Can I have sex with it?
Sidebar. When I play D&D, my goal
is to have sex with
everything. To do the funniest thing possible at all times. And so I just be funny and also cause trouble for everyone.
Literally.
It's never to like don't get me wrong, I definitely have the main mission is still the goal. Like, I still want to like win, but also I want to do it the hardest way possible. Which I know most people are thinking like, fuck, I don't want to play with this dude.
And then there's me, and I'm just the ranger, and I just hang back and let Frank go cause the ruckus while I'm just hanging out in the back with Halle Berry. So just hanging out with my wolf.
I know,
and
Halle
just
Berry,
just hanging out with my wolf and waiting for the chaos so that I can go, okay, go ahead, Halle, and then pull out the arrow and just.
I know. I miss playing D&D. We should start a new campaign sometime soon.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we don't have friends.
Time. Yeah, too.
I love the way you said time and I said friends.
That's fair.
Technically, we don't have either.
So. But what were we getting to?
We're talking about She-Hulk, but then we got distracted with Dungeons and Dragons and sex. So.
Fair enough.
But yeah, you were talking about that. We were talking about weird shows or Marvel shows and how that one was not great. The noir, private eye one.
But no, the Daredevil show.
Yeah.
Really fucking good.
Okay.
So I'm really
put it on my list.
Yeah, I'm really happy.
10,000 things to watch.
Yeah, right. I'm really happy that they kept him, and then they actually announced. Did you watch Spider-Man No Way Home?
No Way Home. Yes.
So he comes out in it.
Yes.
As himself, as Matthew Murdock, and which was such a cool cameo. Like, that was really cool. But yeah, I would love to see them somehow incorporate him into the She-Hulk show. Like, we still have time, to do that. We still have a few episodes.
But would they be able to incorporate the same guy?
Yeah, he's a part of the MCU. They announced that because they're gonna do a Daredevil show again, and they announced that he.
Well, I just didn't know if it if it was able to crossover, coincide, because that's on Netflix. This is on Disney Plus. I understand they're both but
Yeah. So when Marvel, basically all the other shows, I guess they're there, but they're not. Those characters are never gonna blend in. The ones from Netflix specifically are never gonna blend in with MCU so far, except for the guy that played Murdoch or Daredevil, and the guy that played Kingpin in that show, because we saw Kingpin, the guy that played Kingpin was in the Hawkeye show. So they already put him in there, so he's part of the MCU. And then the guy who played Matt Murdock was in Spider-Man, therefore they're going to come over. I think everyone else, they were kind of meh. So.
Because I just know, before there was all the issues and everything with how Fox owned X-Men. Yeah. So it was we never got to see any of the X-Men in the MCU. Honestly, totally made me forget that X-Men is even part of Marvel.
Yeah, right?
Because of how much separation there was between X-Men and every other Marvel movie. It just makes it feel entirely separate. And then same thing with how all the Spider-Mans and everything, all of our original Spider-Mans and everything, we couldn't incorporate them until very, very recently.
And even then it's a fight to do so.
Yeah. And so, but oh my God, the magic.
Yeah.
The magic of that movie and those things. Do you understand that I almost cried when Tobey Maguire came on screen?
I did cry when they all three of them were together. It was nuts. That whole movie had me so, dude. When Peter is about to kill when Peter No Way Home Peter or Homecoming Peter is about to kill Green Goblin, ooh, that got me. That part got me.
The part that got me, the part that I actually 1,000% bawled my eyes out was when I thought I was losing Toby. When I thought that they killed Toby.
Yeah, that was rough.
I was bawling my eyes out. I was like, I can't. That's my Spider-Man. We can't lose him. Yeah. I love him. I need him.
Yeah.
You don't understand. That's my crying voice.
Yeah, I get it.
Anyways, we are wildly off topic.
No, not really. I mean, we're still kind of there. But no, you're right. I think the mixing of characters is what these shows are for. Is it gives us so many what ifs and it gives us so many avenues, because I don't think every Marvel character needs to have a movie. Now, when we do the next Avengers movie, is this going to give us a chance to incorporate a ton of these side characters or B-level characters? Yes. That's what I can't wait for. I can't wait for us to do Secret Wars, and we're going to get all these fucking characters just put in the right place where they need to be. And everything is finally going to come together on a massive scale. Avengers 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Was the beginning of that. Even in the Endgame, we start seeing T'Challa come up and do just what he needed to do, or Guardians of the Galaxy come up and do just what they needed to do. Not everyone had to be in the movie the whole time. They just kind of get you there, so.
Yeah.
Which still makes me sad that we did Age of Ultron super early, because the Age of Ultron that we saw is nothing like the comics. Such a good opportunity.
Do you feel, though, Marvel has peaked?
I think that when you're building a mountain, you're going to have several peaks, because you're constantly building. And the thing is that we've always seen
literally probably the most philosophical thing I've ever heard you say.
Yeah, I'm deep.
You just when you're building a mountain, there's more than one peak. Whoa, Frank, where the fuck did that come from? Sir.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that they're literally building all this. Don't get me wrong, there's a layout, but they have to pick and choose and really make it come together in a way that it's not only good for the geeks, but it's good for people that don't really watch all this stuff. So it is hard to do, and I think that they're at a whole new level than any of us thought they would ever get to. I think we thought they were going to do Avengers 1 and 2, and then we'll stop caring about all this superhero shit. Or maybe just a select group will continue to care. Maybe we'll do more stuff on TV with it or whatever. But now that they've reached the pinnacle of what the first 3 phases were about, the building blocks, it's we have to now That's why I think we're getting a ton of B-level stuff, is because we have to rebuild that tension of like what else is out there, what else could be. And so I think we're finally going to get there or start that process in this phase 4 or phase 5. Phase 5? I think phase 5.
I don't know.
I think we're phase 5.
There's a lot of phases.
Yeah, no, we're about to start phase 5, and that's where we're going to start still seeing the buildings. It's like think about it. How long ago, I should say, did we know that Thanos was there and we didn't see shit from him?
Yeah.
You know?
Thanos has been, they like hinted to him way early, and then just we got nothing.
And so right now we don't.
I remember when he first showed up. I'm like, who's that purple guy?
Yeah.
Who's that purple guy in space? What does he want?
Was it the guy that looks like Josh Brolin just out there doing nothing? You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's the thing, is we don't have a big bad, and we're just kind of doing these movies that have these one-off villains. And so I think that's where we're going to start seeing stuff happen where, like, we know that Secret Wars is around the corner. It's 3 years away. That's going to definitely give us what we're looking for again. And it's going to, again, launch the whole thing into craziness at the end of it. So I think also it gives them a chance to reset and kind of, redo all their stuff. So by the turning of next year, I think we're going to get that feeling again, like, oh shit, something's going down. And then that we'll see if they can do it again. And that, that's the note of like a real artist, or like, it's not just, oh, I made a hit. It's how many times can Jay-Z make the Black Album? How many times can Beyonce make Halo? Again, that same feeling.
Yeah.
And if Feige does it again, best movie producer ever. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, the only other person to do something similar is Star Wars. And even then, like, George Lucas makes me so mad. Because unlike Feige, who very clearly does things definitely, or like with the plan, George Lucas pretends he has a plan. And if you listen to his interviews, the dude's kind of whacked
Oh
up.
yeah, no, I've seen a couple of them where he basically just says like, yeah, I had no idea what was happening. I just kind of went with it. So we just kind of it happened. Whatever happened. But I feel like there's a common denominator here that we haven't like mentioned.
Okay.
And why I asked if you felt like Marvel had peaked. Disney. Because you mentioned Star Wars.
Yeah, that's okay.
And how the only other like successful kind of franchise similar to Marvel is Star Wars.
Yes.
Now both are owned by Disney, and I feel like ever since Disney got involved with both have started to go downhill.
Okay.
I don't feel
Okay.
like they have been at their like peak levels of awesomeness ever since Disney got involved.
I almost disagree, but I have like reasons why, like specific, right? And I almost brought up Disney when I was doing my answer, but I wanted to
like I feel like Disney brings certain things to them, but I also feel like it almost kind of takes away a little bit at the same time.
In what regard?
I don't know. I just feel like don't get me wrong. Like I love Disney. I have nothing against it. I love Disney. Okay, I'm going for my birthday.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm going all the way to Florida. All right, I love Disney, but at the same time, like I feel like Disney just owns so much and so many things that it's just kind of like, oh yeah, go make another Marvel something. Oh yeah, just do another Marvel thing. I don't feel like they're taking enough like care with the stuff.
So that's the only thing I think they actually do. So besides having the finances clearly to just kind of do things the right way,
of money of
but
dollars.
like,
What did I just say? Millions of money of dollars.
I know. But so let's take one at a time. Star Wars, right? Star Wars, when George kind of handed it over.
I don't even want to talk about Star Wars.
Well,
Can we just not even talk about it? Because now I'm literally going to She-Hulk
Okay,
if we start talking about
enough.
Disney and
Fair
Star
enough.
Wars. I am going to turn green.
Fair enough.
I'm already turning red. I can feel it.
Fair enough. We'll stick with just the Marvel stuff then, right? So, Iron Man 1. I don't know how familiar you are with the backstory of it, but Iron Man 1 was actually a Hail Mary for Marvel. They were basically on the verge of bankruptcy, if not already there. And they were like, well, we need to do something now because comic sales are going in the toilet and we have no money. And we've sold, in the last few years, like 10 years, we sold off all our big characters, and we have stopped receiving money enough to keep us afloat. So we need to do something. So originally they were going to go through Sony and just have them do all their movies. And they said, you know what? Why are we going to pay Sony to make the movie for us? Let's just take what movie we have and I don't know, I don't remember who originally pitched Robert Downey Jr. because they were like, we need to take a celebrity who was, at the time of this movie, before this, he's Hollywood's bad boy. He had just got out, last time we heard him, he went to jail for doing drugs and getting crazy in the streets of Hollywood. And they needed somebody who could do a good job for cheap because we have no money. All our money's going to go to literally making this fucking thing. Like, that's it. So they got him at like some ridiculously low price. Like I know the number, I just can't remember right now, but I remember seeing it. I was like, no fucking way. And so they gave him to do the movie. They spent all their money on the CGI because that movie clearly CGI heavy.
You had to have it.
And they just fucking put it out there. And they're like, if it fucking wins, it wins. And if not, we all go home and that's it. And it pulled them out. And they fucking did it.
Well, I mean, that's literally like, I feel like it goes without saying, but that is the movie that literally started it all. It started everything. I was going to bring that up earlier. I was like, what about Iron Man?
Yeah.
Iron Man is what started everything.
So we have that is we start we're doing things. Disney, sees the potential after a few movies. Like, this isn't going away. Let's get ahead of it. They buy Marvel. I have yet to see a real effect of Marvel or Disney coming in and being like, hey, don't do that. Hey, the mouse says fucking you can't do that, And I think that because of them, they were able to bring on the right people and continue to do so. And I don't know, I think quality-wise, they've done a good job. I can't say with Star Wars, I feel very objectively different. But I also feel like that's such a different monster because, again, this was built and then they kept everyone on who fucking was there versus that where they bought it from somebody who, even though I don't agree with how he was doing things, he was the person fucking making the roadmap, and they did bring him in as a consultant, but they said like they just could never come to like a good idea. So George just kind of like, whatever, do your own thing. And I'll agree with you there. I think they dropped a lot of balls, but again, I think it wasn't until Jon Favreau, who also has done a lot for the MCU. Jon Favreau saved Star Wars 100%.
Like he is so underrated.
Yeah, as a writer,
in just every aspect.
Insane.
Every aspect. Do you know my very first ever introduction to Jon Favreau, and I had no idea that it was even him at the time. The Replacements.
I fucking love him in that movie. Yeah.
I love him in that movie too. And I had no idea that was... I never made the connection that was him.
Oh, yeah.
Until like, I don't know, maybe probably a couple years ago that I rewatched the movie and I'm all, holy shit. Like, that never clicked with me. But he's amazing.
Have you seen Chef?
I haven't watched it.
So
I've wanted to watch it.
It's through and through... Because he wrote and directed and acted, and it's through and through. Like, if you know him or are familiar with his work, it's just him in a movie, and you can just tell he cares, and you can tell this is a passion project. He was invested into learning and doing everything he had to do to play that role, and I also love the fact that he gives himself a hot wife. That shit made me fucking laugh my ass off. Not even a hot wife. He gave himself a hot ex-wife, and he gave himself a hot girlfriend. Fucking ScarJo and Sofia Vergara. What the fuck? I get it because it's your fucking movie. Do what you want.
Yeah.
But as far as I left that movie wanting to start a food truck. You know what I mean? You don't get that from a lot of movies where you can put yourself there and he just good solid fucking movie. Good on him. But again, he is such a good at what he does, producing. Dude, the fact that he writes and produces Mandalorian blows my fucking mind. Because without Mandalorian, I feel those 3 movies sucked ass. Honestly, visually they're pretty cool. Story wise, I hate all 3 of those fucking movies.
Yeah,
They're so bad.
I don't even.
And it just, I love J.J. Abrams.
We've talked about it before.
Yeah,
but
it's
like,
just, yeah.
The only thing that I take away from those is Kylo Ren, and he's just a wet dream that I had one time. And
he is a cool character. I just wish they would have done him different.
Are you kidding me? Yes, they should have. Just, the Rise of Skywalker. He's a fucking Skywalker. She's not. All right, I'm sorry. But, turn green only for a minute.
But no, Jon Favreau. Without Jon Favreau, there is no resurgence. Because I mean, don't
what are you calling him, by the way?
Jon Favreau. Favreau. Is it with a B? It's with an R.
You're putting an L in his name. There's no L.
What do you mean?
Favreau.
Okay.
There's no L. Where are you getting an L? It's like Favreau, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I have no clue. That's
Favreau.
Is it Favreau?
You're like Favreau.
Favreau, yeah.
No,
that's what I thought it was. Okay, my bad. Well, I've been saying it wrong for fucking years. My bad. I'm glad I haven't met him yet because I would have been like Jon Favreau.
He would have went. I'm sorry, what? He would have what? What did you just call me?
No, he's so nice. He would have been like,
what?
It's okay. My name is Jon Favreau, and I would have.
They're not the jokes you're looking for.
But yeah, no, the dude just he's a hell of a writer, and I honestly believe those 3 movies sucked so bad that people weren't losing faith in like what was gonna come next, and I think that he really like brought everyone together, and I cannot wait for his other fucking shows because the Ahsoka show is gonna be fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's amazing, and quick sidebar. Mm-hmm. You started talking about Jon Favreau, and then you started talking about something else, and then it clicked in my mind. You asked me a question at the beginning of the podcast, and if there was any like nerd related something that like happened like this week that like I enjoyed. Mm-hmm. Brendan fucking Fraser.
I do love
him finally getting back into the world of acting and everything, and not being like basically shunned anymore, and finally getting some good quality recognition. Yeah. I'm so happy for him because I loved him growing up. Like he was every like nerd kid's like one of their like favorite like action stars.
Everything like the like being put in a box didn't ever like come to mind when thinking of him. Like no. Bedazzled.
Yep.
Fucking George of the Jungle. Fucking
The Mummy.
The Mummy series.
The Mummy.
I didn't even like the third one that much.
No, the third one was garbage. The third one was garbage.
You know what I liked about the third one? Was that we got to see their home life a little bit, and it felt very Indiana Jonesy. So like that I liked a little bit about it, but I didn't like it. It felt the most Indiana Jones to me.
Okay, so I have a tendency sometimes to have very hard feelings about things, and then just completely dismiss things like because of the one feeling. The fact that they changed Evie, just it ruined the entire movie for me. Like I couldn't even focus on the movie because I was just focused on the fact that it wasn't my Evie, and I hated I hated the actress.
I didn't hate her.
I did not like her. She was not.
It did make it hard because you're like you're not her.
Like don't get me wrong.
She got the attitude right, and I think that's what I was okay with.
Don't get me wrong. She the very first movie she was very like I'm a librarian. I don't do action.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Like she was like very like oh no, but the second one. Obviously, she comes into herself, figures out that she's actually, a reincarnated fucking Egyptian princess, and she turns into a total badass, which is cool. And then the third one, she was still supposed to be badass, but she just kind of it just felt lacking.
It felt short, you mean?
Yeah, it just, the character just didn't do it for me. Mm-hmm. And I don't like change either. Yeah. So it's like when they announced that they were having a third Mummy movie, I was so excited. I couldn't wait. And then I found out that we didn't get what's-her-face. Can't remember the actress's name. But it wasn't the original Evie. And I was upset. And then I dismissed the movie. And then I watched it. And then I was like, I hate it here. So.
I mean, it's better than the Mummy reboot with Tom Cruise.
No.
Which, what's funny?
Was that even supposed to be associated?
So it is because the idea behind it would make you think that it wasn't, but it actually is. So in the movie, they actually show the Book of the Dead from the original movies. Yeah. And so if I was gonna do that movie, because the premise of that movie was to set up the monster universe, so like Dracula, Wolfman, Mummy, Invisible Man, things like that, and so they kind of do that. You get to actually one of the characters played by not Russell Crowe. Is it Russell Crowe? I forgot, but he one of the characters was Mr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Okay.
Or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Uh-huh.
And so
I think it was Russell Crowe.
It is Russell Crowe, right?
Yeah.
So
it is.
they I get him confused because like, and this is such a bad thing. I'm a big dude. I'm not hating on big dude. It's just he looks so like. When I think of Russell Crowe, I think young Russell Crowe, and he's super thin and like, I think Gladiator. But then I forget that he's older and he's like bigger, and it just I forget.
I do the same thing.
You know what I mean? So
I get that.
So yeah. So
he's also like really talented though too. Like
great actor.
Like just singing though too.
Really?
Les Miserables.
Oh.
Do you not remember? He was in Les Miserables. He played the cop or whatever they called it back then. But yeah, he can sing, which is. He's very talented.
Yes.
Nothing against him, but yeah, I do forget.
Yeah, right.
I confuse.
So this Mummy movie was supposed to do like the monster cinematic universe again.
I think it failed.
It failed because they made him like a superhero at the end. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, I wander the desert really as the mummy. Like it was just so weird. It was very strange. It was just very strange for like.
I'm just not a Tom Cruise fan either, though.
You know, I wasn't a huge Tom Cruise fan. There's only one movie that I like of his, and it's Ghost Protocol. That is the only Mission Impossible movie that I really even like. It's a good movie. I like I like these newer ones because somewhere along the lines, Tom Cruise figured out how to be funny.
He's a little sassy.
He's like,
got that little bit of that sass, and I like that.
And this is my favorite Tom Cruise, and I don't know if we'll ever get to see it before he dies again.
Dies again?
Or dies again. No. Dies in general.
Scientology, man.
Is him in Tropic Thunder. And I just want another character similar. Did you hate him in Shut up.
I hate Tropic Thunder.
I mean, you can hate Tropic Thunder.
I never finished the movie. That is how much I hated that movie. I literally...
You got like halfway through it, though.
No. I don't even think I got that far.
Why do you hate the movie? It's a treasure.
I couldn't stand it.
Why? It is over the top. It's definitely over the top. Like
I don't know what it was about that movie, but it made me so like uncomfortable. It was so cringy. I didn't laugh once. Like I hated it. I did not think it was funny at all. Huh. There's only one thing about that movie that I thought was funny, and that was Robert Downey Jr. And that was his little line where he's like, "I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude." Like that was the only thing that I liked about that movie. Everything else, I was like, "This is a dumpster fire." Did
you get to see Tom Cruise's character? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my god. Okay.
I never got there.
Tom Cruise ends up playing he's like the owner of I want to say like the production company or like he's like an agent. Think about it like that. He's like a high profile movie agent, and he's fat. I didn't even know it was Tom Cruise for the longest time, and he's just in your face, and like literally he ends up talking to because I'm just because I don't know how far you are in the movie. The actors end up getting kidnapped by they become basically like prisoners of war by on accident. They think it's part of the movie. They think like that because basically the director is so pissed that they can't get the movie right, like do the acting right, that he's like, we're gonna walk away from our camp. Nobody gets to go back to the trailers. We're gonna sit out here and film like you guys are out here until you guys do it. And as they're doing it, like 5 minutes into walking, he gets blown up by a mine, and they think that he just set it up as a special effect to freak him out. So they're actually in the jungle, fucking thinking they're acting, thinking that the guys that are coming to kill them are other actors just fucking with them, and they're filming in the woods somewhere or in the jungle somewhere. And at some point, one of them gets kidnapped, and they basically call for a ransom, and Tom Cruise is the one who gets the phone, and they're like, "You need to pay us a fucking $1 million." Da, 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 da. And Tom's like, "Fuck your own face," and just close. Like it's aggressive, and it's some of the funniest things I've ever seen Tom Cruise do. And at the end, during the credits, we get to see him do a hip hop dance number as this fat man.
Oh my goodness!
It is hilarious. If you just see that portion,
All right.
Just the
I'll
after
Google
credits
just
scene.
that.
It's super fucking
I'll Google
funny.
just that.
But I don't know. I like these older movies he's doing. These older Mission Impossible movies. I don't know. It's impressive. It's impressive to see somebody of his stature, like age, still fucking do all those stunts.
I just can't look away from his teeth. Ever since I found out that his tooth is right in the middle of his face, I can't unsee it. You can't. Every time he smiles, you can't unsee it. It's just this tooth is right in the center. It's just right there, and you're just like, it's so off-putting.
What are we? Okay.
Sorry, Tom.
That's funny. So many like other reasons to hate him.
Yeah, no, I mean he's great.
Yeah.
He's a great dude. Just your tooth is off-putting. I'm sorry, sir. And your Scientology stuff's a little weird.
Yeah,
but anyways,
it's strange.
Yeah, but as far as just go all the way back, I just feel that Disney is just trying to. I almost feel like they're trying to push out too much, and I think that's where me feeling like they're not really 100% like giving their all to each and every project is because they're trying to push out so many projects.
I guess I feel like they would have the resources. You know what I mean? Like,
and I get that, but at the same time, like I feel like we should be building more anticipation for things instead of just pumping out so many different like things. Like, oh hey, let's make a TV show about this, TV show about that. We're gonna make a TV show over here, and then we're gonna throw out 3 movies this year. We're gonna do that. I feel like build up some anticipation. Like we need, like,
I like it. I like as somebody who consumes a lot. I think I'm tired of the waiting. I'm tired of leaving a movie and being like, well, I guess we'll see it in a year and a half.
I like the little bit of anticipation.
Yeah.
I want just a little bit more of that. I feel like
for me
to build up the excitement for things.
For me, you're right. Like I'm not excited for every project anymore.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I'm excited for like Blade. And if they don't get a fucking vampire club scene in this fucking movie, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna leave the movie mid-movie. Oh hell no! I'm gonna throw my popcorn in the air and I'm gonna fucking leave.
I don't believe you, because that's what I said. Is if they killed Loki, I would leave, and they literally killed him at the very beginning of the movie, and I still didn't leave. But then again, I was also holding out all the hope in the world that he wasn't dead, so that's why I didn't leave, because I was like, "There's no way they didn't do it. No, refuse, not dead." Loki is alive in some way, some shape, some form, and I wasn't wrong. I wasn't. And I knew I wasn't, because I was like, no way they killed Tom. No way they killed that glorious, beautiful man. Okay? No way. All right?
That's funny.
He's fantastic. Love that man. I love you, Tom. As in Hiddleston, not Cruise. We've been talking about a lot of Toms, apparently, so to specify.
Anything left you gotta say about She-Hulk?
Okay. I talked about this with you before we started this, so I got a little clarification on it. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm not a fan about how she's fucking a supermodel when she's She-Hulk.
But that's She-Hulk.
But I'm just not 100% a fan about it. Just because it's like, she's this like cute, nerdy lawyer when she's normal, but then when she's She-Hulk, she's all of a sudden like a supermodel. Yeah. And it just almost bothers me in a little
I don't think she like looks ugly.
I didn't say she was ugly. I said she's a super cute, like, lawyer chick. She's like, she's smart. She's nerdy. She's got the cute little short curly hair. But then when she becomes She-Hulk, she's all of a sudden just glamour. Yeah. Like, she's got long, beautiful, like, perfectly, like, done hair. She's like full, like, basically face of makeup, basically. Like, she's literally like a model. Versus a cute, nerdy lawyer. Like, it's just like...
All I'm hearing is I'm hearing some haterade in your game.
No. I
think you're trying to look at... As soon as I leave here, you're going to look up how to get gamma radiation.
No, I love me. I'm awesome, okay? I don't need to be green to be awesome, okay? No, it's just... I don't know. I wish there was a little bit, like... I don't know. When Hulk hulks out, he doesn't turn into a supermodel. So why does she?
There's got to be at least one woman, a few women out there that are like, I wonder what Hulk's packing,
No, every woman in the world is wondering what Hulk is packing, okay? No, but there's no illusions about that. We've all thought about it, okay? But at the same time, like, it's not like, he doesn't turn into, like, he's not like a model guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's not, like, perfectly manicured, like, super hot, like, super big muscles. He's literally just an angry, green, giant man.
I almost wonder if it has to do with like, self-projection. Like,
maybe.
Like, maybe she, like, clearly she's very secure at times, and maybe that's, like, she finds herself very beautiful. And,
maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's actually,
like, Bruce Banner
a really good explanation.
legit thinks of himself as a monster. So.
Yeah, that's actually a really good explanation. Because maybe that's, like, when she hulks, it's, like, her projecting that. Okay, all right, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
See, this is why we talk about these things. I don't always get mad at you and disagree with you.
True.
Sometimes you have good points.
We didn't talk about episode 2, where she actually represents Abomination, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
because that was actually a really big deal, because it's like it was showing how basically how she can control her powers. So can he. So he kind of went off on the wrong track and like technically became a villain, but it's like she could end up doing the same thing. Like, I have superpowers too. I'm not out here causing a ruckus. He just wants to go hang out with his 7 wives.
I know, that was so funny. Like, he's like, I found the loves of my life. I was like, okay. And then they actually show them at the trial, like all 7 of them just there, just like, I love
the way
you.
they're all wearing like white dresses too, with like the flower garland headbands and stuff, like super cultish.
Oh yeah,
like,
oh yeah, it's great. And so they make him promise, like, for him to get out. Basically, Homeboy, I forget his name, but Homeboy's up for review on parole, and she's trying to convince his parole people that
he's reformed. Yeah.
And I love his, like, he's like, I wrote haikus. You want me to read them? Like, he's the typical prisoner who's been reformed. But it was cool because in those Hulk movies with Edward Norton, he's this angry military dude, and he was right. From his perspective, he was being a hero. Yeah. And it's cool to see that, like...
And that's every villain, though, if you really think about it. If every villain thinks that they're doing the right thing... So
well, except for, like, Joker. But, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Like, almost every villain, though, is, like, doing something that they think is right for the wrong reason, blah, blah, blah. There's always a second side. Everyone... There's a phrase that says, like, something about everyone's a villain in somebody's story. Yeah. So it doesn't matter even if you're technically a good guy, you're the villain in somebody else's story. Yeah. So, anyways, that was what I had to say.
No, fair enough. But it was cool to see him kind of act different, and then we get the explanation as to why, or like what happened when he left with Wong.
Yeah, he did prison escape.
Yeah,
Wong just showed up and was like, "Hey, I need to battle somebody so I can become the
Sorcerer Supreme."
Yeah, that one. So. I almost said Grandmaster, and then I realized that is the wrong person.
Wrong thing.
Wrong person.
But yeah, he comes in and kind of explains, and I love how when the committee calls him out, like, "Well, you helped with the crime." He was like,
he's like, I'm gonna go. He just makes his little circle.
That's so good. But it's cool to see kind of the ins and outs. So I want to know what other like loophole, not loopholes, but like holes in stories that they're gonna use her to kind of fill in and stuff. And it could be like it could be cool to see that, like, what the different opportunities we're gonna get with the different characters going to trial. So I'm excited for the future of the show. And like you said, it's not like I'm done. Like, every week I'm not gonna be at the edge of my seat. But it is kind of a cool show to go to when I have nothing else to watch, or just
just fun entertainment. It's just, hey, She-Hulk, new episode's out. Let's watch it. Like, it's not like you're sitting there waiting, like, at the time, like, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I need. At 4:00 the new episode comes out. Like, I need to be watching it right then and there.
Obi-Wan, I was literally staying up till midnight and watching it.
You're waiting for it. You're waiting for it. That's literally me right now with the House of the Dragon. The stupid. I can't. I have so many trust issues with Game of Thrones, but I can't help myself. I can't.
I think that's why I actually had a friend of mine, Paul Weber, who's a tattoo artist here in Temecula, but he does nerd tattoos, and he actually is a big Game of Thrones fan. He posted the other day on his Facebook. He's talking about how he thinks the reason why there's not like a huge resurgence of Game of Thrones fans is because they're so jaded from the first one that they don't know what's going to happen. But it brought up a good point. Like I'm, I didn't watch the show, but I do know that fans are super. The show left a bad taste in their mouth because it ended in a really weird way, and they're hesitant. But I don't know. Supposedly this new season, it's very, very convincing to come back.
We'll have to do an episode on it because it's hard to say because it's like I'm still super excited about it for every week. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, I'm almost like, it's almost a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Just because the Targaryens have a very complicated history and a lot of inbreeding.
Oh.
So you thought there was incest in the original Game of Thrones? The Targaryens are just the face of incest. Oh, nice. So it's very interesting.
Well, maybe I'll hop on board and start watching them. Maybe I'll do a TikTok series where it's watch Game of Thrones with me. And you can see my reaction or something.
Oh my gosh. That would be funny. All right, well, final thoughts. She-Hulk.
Final thoughts. She-Hulk.
How many, I don't know what I was going to say. How many muscle arms do you give it? How many Hulk arms?
Out of what? Out of how
I don't know. How many Hulk arms do you think a Hulk has? I don't know. Out of 5. I don't know. Just 5.
You know what? I give it a solid 3. Because 4 means I find it like getting to excellent, superb. 3 means it's very passable. It's very it's not a terrible show by any means. It's like we said, if you're looking for something to watch, it's there, and you're not gonna hate it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think I'm pretty similar, but I think I'd give it just right in the middle ground. It's a solid 2.5. Like I got both arms, but then like little extra ones.
Yeah.
I don't know, coming out of there. Little beefy arm just coming out of the back of my neck there, like Trogdor. But yeah, no, it just, I'd give it like 2.5 because it's entertaining. But am I like super excited about it? No. Yeah. But do I hate it? No. I'm just kind of like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, yeah. I don't know. Why am I always doing stuff with my hands? I don't know. I'm such a fucking weirdo.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Yeah. Again, if there's any shows you want us to check out or anything you want us to review, talk about, let us know. Let us know.
So we can talk about it.
Go follow us on our socials. Instagram, TikTok. We have a Facebook. I don't really post anything on Facebook, but we have one.
Yeah.
All under... Sorry.
Rewind. Wrong.
All under Nerdaholics Podcast. Sorry. And yeah, just hang out with us. Let us know what's up. Thank you everyone who's been showing us love on the drink videos. Legitimately, you guys make it for us. It's crazy the amount of love you guys are reaching out and giving us to us. So. And
I appreciate you guys making the drinks that I come up with haphazardly. So I appreciate that you guys actually enjoy the drinks that I randomly come up with every week. So.
Yeah, guys. Well, you got anything?
Yeah. No, I don't got anything. I said my Hulk arms. I'm good. Cool. I'm happy.
All right.
You guys are rad. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Later.